Like day after day, I always think about. I always use every different element, every different technique, from sweet to savory. And a lot of actually a lot of desserts I would come up with were they were a lot on the savory side.
Mm-hmm.
By adding a
Well,
pinch of
people
salt.
enjoy that too, you know.
Of course, because it shouldn't be two kitchens. It shouldn't be separate. It should be all one kitchen, all, combined.
Coming together.
Come together, of course. And it should all work. It should all make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It should all make sense. It should all be great, not just, when people ask me, I've had people ask me, do you prefer being called a pastry chef, or I'm like, I'm just a chef.
You're a chef.
There's no title. I'm just a chef. This is what I do. I love doing it. And food for me is like you care for someone. If I just met you 5 minutes ago and you asked me to cook for you, I'm doing something. I'm caring for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's an extension
It's
of
a real sign of love,
It's
actually.
an extension of my emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So someone that's cooking for you, whether you know them or not, you just met them 5 minutes ago, it's an extension of that person's inner emotions coming out, transcending on a plate to create this beautiful dish for you to enjoy, to make you feel...
To nurture your life. And yes, yeah.
Exactly. So every single person that I'm cooking for, I care for that person because I'm putting all my emotions into that one dish. Mm-hmm. To bring them satisfaction. So it's much more deeper for me mm-hmm. than just cooking or just a job or just doing what I have to do to get by. It's nurturing. Mm-hmm.
I want to, because time goes so quickly. So you worked for, I named some, we don't have to go through them all. You worked with many of the most incredible restaurants in the city, and you were groundbreaking, or you were their premier pastry person, or developed different things. When did you, because we talked about that a little when we talked ahead of time, decide that, what, I'm happy, working in all these places, but I'm going to be my own brand. I'm going to do my own thing because I'd rather get to there now, even though, because you can read about him, you can go online and see all kinds of great stuff. But there was a point where you were like, no, I want to, and you instruct, you consult, you do events, you have your own branding, you do all kinds of things. So when did that come, and how does that work for you to really be you, an entity, sharing that in all the different venues you do as yourself, not under, the branch of, a restaurant?
That came from all the great chefs that I worked under.
Yeah, you had a lot of mentors, right?
I had a lot of great mentors, and I always saw them as like, I always saw the job as sort of like, okay, this is one stepping stone for me to do greater things. And I've always admired, I worked, first of all, I chose who I wanted to work with. Mm-hmm. I chose to work under Morimoto because I was a big fan of Morimoto.
Right.
And I chose to work with him, and I finally met him, and I actually never spoke a word to the guy, and the guy was like right here next to me. And I was just so nervous to even speak to him because it's my idol and I'm here. Mm-hmm. So I made it. That was great. That was validation for me, right? I said, yes, I made it. And
then you worked with, is it
Pichet Young? Yeah, Pichet. Actually, when I met Pichet, he was like my biggest mentor, Pichet Young, because he taught me that you could be cool in the kitchen, but you still have to be militant. Focus. Be great at what you do, but have fun doing it. Mm-hmm. And I was very shy when I was a lot younger, and it was hard for me to even speak in front of a crowd. Mm-hmm. And working with chefs like that, like chefs that are in the spotlight, it
drew it out of you.
Yeah, it trained me, mm-hmm. and I started. It started building a lot of confidence in me, and the biggest thing is confidence. You're worried about how somebody else is going to critique you. You have to have thick skin in this business, mm-hmm. because you're always going to get criticized no matter what. Not every dish is going to come out perfect. You're just as good as your last dish, right. And that's in any field.
Yeah, you're good as your last gig. You're good as your last.
Yeah, exactly. So what inspired me is to be an independent, is working under these great chefs who are such great leaders, And I felt like I have so much experience that I should share that with the world, not just work and just get by. I need to do something greater because I learned under so many great chefs, so many talented individuals. I know every aspect of the business. I need to be on my own. I need to share that. And I also need to have other people appreciate it.